On this trip, we'll be spending 2 days in Santa Cruz. I wanted to do a vlog style video for this trip and show our ride from Southern California all the way up to Santa Cruz due to the line fire that's going on in San Bernardino County. Now, if you're not from Southern California and you're not familiar with it, every year we have fire season. But this year, with the extreme heat we had, it's really, really bad. People getting evacuated. My kids got out of school for the whole week due to the bad air quality. And the week they got out of school just happened to be the week we're going to Santa Cruz. Now, we didn't plan it that way. We didn't know that there was going to be a fire. It just worked out that way. So not only is the Santa Cruz trip seem much needed for us, it seems kind of like fate, like we were meant to go. So check out this video on Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz.
Hey, we got it.
Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz.
2,000 firefighters have been braving the heat and rugged terrain to protect the more than 65,000 structures threatened by the flames. Governor Gavin Newsom has also announced that the California National Guard will support the state's ongoing response.
So that's what it looked like driving around throughout the week. See how smoky it was? You can imagine how quick we were ready to pack up and go to Santa Cruz.
So I think we're all packed. We forgot the wagon, so we had to refigure things, but we fit it. Got the 2 coolers, air fryer, of course, all our stuff. We made it work.
Now, saying goodbye to the smoky weather, we were trying to make it to our room at a decent time for check-in and be able to hit the beach up. After multiple bathroom stops and some stops to get something to eat, of course, we enjoyed the ride. Well, some of us did. You know how teenagers are. But we enjoyed the ride, and we just checked out the scenery and was just happy to get to some cooler weather, away from the smoke. I'm telling you, it was 108, 109, 110 every day in SoCal for us. So finally making it to Santa Cruz, we were just happy to be by the beach. We were staying at the Edgewater Resort. This was a nice room. It had a kitchen. You know, we like to cook on our trips, not be pressured to have to go out and eat every day. It had a roll-out couch, 1 room, 1 bathroom. So it was a pretty nice room for a good price. And it actually was just right in front of the beach. So you literally just walked out the parking lot and you're at the beach, you're at the pier. So this is and I didn't even know it was that close. When I booked it on Booking, I believe it said like 400 feet from the beach, but you know, it's one thing when you get there and you're like, oh really, it's really 400 feet from the beach. It had a patio to sit out in. Some of the rooms came with patios with beach views. We didn't get that one. But overall, good room. Edgewater Resort. Motel. I give it a thumbs up. I think everything checked out, especially for a good price. After that drive and checking in and getting settled, we wanted to head to the beach, and having that close access really came in handy for us. Don't mind us, we were just being hella extra. Water was pretty cold because it was later in the evening, but we did notice a sea otter. I couldn't tell if it was a seal. I'm pretty sure it's a sea otter at the beach, so that was pretty nice. And this was just coming in just randomly at the beach, so I knew it was going to be a good time, a good trip. After chilling at the water and relaxing for a little bit, wanted to just take a walk. It was really dead right now coming in on a Wednesday, so we had the place seem like to ourselves. Now, we told ourselves we'll come back and get the boardwalk card and play all the games. We were just going for a walk exploring, but with it being a weekday, it was really dead, and that was a perfect opportunity to be able to walk and kind of see everything to ourselves without the big crowds. We told ourselves we'll come back day 2 and ride the rides and play the games, obviously, but right now it just worked out great to be able to take this beach walk and go by the boardwalk and kind of see everything for ourselves for the first time, with it being just a slow day here at Santa Cruz. But we're definitely excited and can't wait to come back and check out all these rides and all these fun things they got to offer. So we went back to the room and had dinner. We had burgers with some wings and potato wedges. Started to line up tomorrow's activities and get everything in order. Was looking for something to watch on TV. Wasn't much on. It was kind of late. But you can't lose with Saved by the Bell. Well, I like the high school ones more than the college years, but I'll take it. After grabbing our morning coffee, it was time to hit the road. We're heading to Henry Carroll's Redwood State Park, which is about 15 minutes away from the Santa Cruz area. $10 to enter the state park. We were going to do the Grove Loop Trail, which is about a mile total, wheelchair accessible. So we're pretty excited to see these coastal redwoods. So we're going to head out on this walk, see what it's looking like. Now, I promise you, your neck will be sore by the time you're done looking up at all these tall redwoods. But moving on, and this was a really nice walk, as I must say. It looked like all the ancient redwoods were numbered. So we were checking out the numbers, kind of seeing how old they were and how big they were. And they had some massive redwoods here. Now walking up, you could see this massive redwood coming up, approaching it. And this is to the point where you're getting ready to curve and kind of head on that loop back towards the visiting center. But camera never does it justice, but mark my words, this was a really big one. We took plenty of pictures by it, kind of sit there at benches there, and got a couple of our snacks and just hung out by this tree for a little bit before we decided to finish up the loop. Now, what better way to finish this loop trail than to see a deer playing peekaboo with you and then actually see them cross your actual trail. Now, the ranger did inform us this is a black-tailed deer. As you can see the black tail on them. And it's always nice to see any animal in the wild in their natural habitat. Obviously, if it's something that's on the dangerous side from a distance. But finishing this trail, we looked in the visiting center for a minute, finished up our walk, and it was time to head on to our next activity. So we had a 12:30 appointment for our train ride at Roaring Camp Railroads, which is right across the way. So the $10 we paid to park at the state park right here, we just stayed in the same spot and walked right across the street to this Railroads. I believe we had a 12:30 appointment, so we knew after our hike we timed it where we can go take this train ride into the Redwoods. I did notice a lot of different places to take photos, different places to eat, but we just went straight to getting our boarding pass. We didn't have much time until our train came. Pretty excited about this train ride. After checking out the train, it was time for us to get up on board and check out this ride.
Hi there, this trip to Wyoming is not designed to California coastal redwood and scientific where these trees are known and supported in Central Island.
Don't you cry.
I must say that was a cool experience to be able to ride a train into the Redwoods. I didn't really know what to expect, but I liked it a lot. The kids liked it. Roaring Camp, it was time to say goodbye, but it was a pretty cool experience. And it was time for us to grab some ice cream, stop, have a little break, and then head on to the next location. Now next we stopped at Natural Bridges State Park. We didn't stay, we just kind of pulled over to the overlook, but it's a state park, so it was $10 to get in. Maybe next time we want to come with the season with where the butterflies migrate and we can see the butterflies in the trees, but I believe that's after October to around March if I'm not mistaken. But beautiful sight to see, very cool looking state beach. Now our next stop was the Westcliff Lighthouse, which is also a surfing museum. Yeah, we just took a look at the views of the ocean for a minute, and then we read the plaque on how the Hawaiian princess introduced surfing into California. But let's take a look inside and see what they have in this museum. Now, I said this was breaking down surf culture because it was a surf museum and how the Hawaiians kind of introduced it to California. This was pretty cool right here, seeing this actual surfboard from a shark attack. I know the experience was definitely not cool, but it was just pretty cool to actually see in depth how dangerous these creatures are. It also just broke down different timeline from the 60s all the way up to the 90s, just kind of explaining how surf culture expanded and how the Hawaiians really got praised and got a lot of love and respect out here for introducing Californians into that culture. And also, I've went to a restaurant. I know it's all around Southern California, but it's called Duke's. And I didn't know at the time. I did see a statue of this man, but now I understand why the depth of the statue in a lot of restaurants called Duke's in Southern California. I'm pretty sure up north as well. Kind of just paying homage to that man and just bringing surfing into the West Coast. So to get into the museum is free of charge, but you can leave a donation, or they do sell certain items where you could just make a purchase before you go. Well, stepping out the surf museum, we just took a look at the coast, and you can see the pier and the boardwalk basically from right here at the lighthouse. So it's just showing you how close it actually is, just a few miles away. So if you are at the pier, at the boardwalk, you might want to check this place out. It's free of charge, and like I said, they just take donations. But after going back to the beach for a minute, we decided to walk the pier and just check out the sunset and really just relax for the rest of the evening. Very different from Southern California to see all these cars pull up to the restaurants and just drive on the pier, something we're not used to. But it was really, really nice walk. A lot of restaurants definitely going to have to come back and try something. Now, walking the pier and just being able to enjoy the sunset kind of just gives the depth of how big California truly is. Just 2 days ago, starting this trip and seeing nothing but smoke and just bad air quality, to being up north in Northern California and it just being a different world just shows how large this state is. I've lived here my whole life, and there's still so many places that are bucket list for me in my own state that I'm still trying to see. But this pier was nice. This sunset was great. There was a lot of nice looking restaurants and shops, so I definitely want to come back and try something next time. After that nice walk on the pier, we decided to hit the arcade up before going back to the room for dinner.
Come on, bro. Looks like I got it.
We played a little bit of classic games and some of the newer games, but there's just a wide variety here. Laser tag, basketball, some of the classic arcade games I typically don't see at arcade spots. They had a lot of those. They really had a lot to offer here.
And relinquish some more wealth for more instruction from the pirates. Oh, yeah. Yes, you. Surrender a small treasure and gain great wisdom.
I was trying to win this Goonies DVD as a prize right here, and you have to hit 3 times into the lighted area, and it was getting really hard for me to walk away. So many different festivals, events at that boardwalk, and they were having something going on that night. Headed back to the room to have dinner. And it was obviously getting into that Halloween time of the year, so I turned on the TV to catch a movie, and this is what was on. So we hit up the boardwalk early, about an hour before the rides open, just to get our card loaded, just to make sure my son met all the height requirements for all the rides, and we just wanted to have everything ready to go. Now, I really enjoyed looking at a lot of the history of the boardwalk being established and the Giant Dipper 100 year. But the main thing that caught my eye was the skyline. I know my son likes to see things up high and look at views, so we're probably going to do that first when they open.
Look, Cam, it's as big as your head.
Now, the closer it got to the rides opening, crowds started to form. Really wanted to get on this Haunted Castle ride, but it already had formed a line, so we decided to go with the Giant Dipper, with it being the 100-year anniversary, 1924, and it being 2024. Why not make this the year to get on the Giant Dipper? Now, movies like Lost Boys and Us, some of my favorite movies being filmed here, definitely enhances being on this boardwalk, made it really cool to see some of those areas. But we were just walking. I think we had about 10 minutes to opening, just trying to kind of game plan what we were going to get on first, thinking it probably would be the sky deck for those views up there and just take a look at the coast. Going into Neptune's Kingdom, Laughing Sal wasn't there, unfortunately. I really wanted to see him, but maybe next time. So we're just going to roam around until it's time to ride these rides.
Now you wouldn't be afraid now. Keep looking pirates like what you know?
There you go. Pick it up. Go get it, Cam. Get your prize.
Now, we went back to the arcade for a little bit just to kill the last few minutes because it was open before the actual rides. And then we decided to go with this first, me and my youngest. He loves these views. He loves seeing things from above, from a bird's eye view. So why not start that way? It was a little bit of an overcast, so it wasn't like you got the best beach views, but it was good. We enjoyed it. It was still really nice. So this was ride number 2, and after finishing that one up, we decided to head over to the historic carousel. So in 1987, this carousel was deemed to be a National Historic Landmark, along with the Giant Dipper. They're two of the oldest surviving beachfront attractions in the country. So that was pretty cool itself. And the ride number 3 was Logger's Revenge. I guess it was time for some water to get into our lives. Even though it wasn't a hot day, it wasn't chilly or anything like that, so we didn't mind getting wet. I recorded the first time, so I kind of got out of it, but now my son wanted to ride it again, so he wanted to make sure that I got wet, so I guess it was my turn. Now, after riding some of the smaller rides for my younger son, me and my oldest decided it was time to get on the Giant Dipper. Now, you can't film it while you're actually on the ride, but I will show you guys what I got of my experience.
As much as I know.
And there's the proof. I feel every turn on that ride, I must say, but it was fun, and I definitely would ride it again. We grabbed a little bit of funnel cake before we decided to head out and leave the Santa Cruz boardwalk. This was our last outing of our trip. We had that long drive back to Southern California. What are my thoughts? I thought it was a lot to do out here, really fun. Not enough time, honestly. and look forward to our next adventure back out here. So many other activities I want to go to see that I didn't get to see this time, such as the mystery spot, just to name one, but plenty more. So I probably will have some more in the future when I get back out to Santa Cruz. But overall, the places we went: Roaring Camp, Railroads, actually to go see the Redwoods, the hike, the boardwalk, just the pier, the lighthouses, in so little time, just lets you know how many activities are out here. So that does it for this video. You guys remember to love life, cherish life, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Peace.